Hello students, today we are going to start the first chapter of our English book Honeydew, The Best Christmas Present in the World by Michael Morpurgo. About the author, Michael Morpurgo is a British author. He is best known for writing children's novels such as War Horse. The common themes in Morpurgo's work include nature and environmental issues, community and interdependence, and relationships between the old and the young. He often depicts people coming together and helping each other in times of crisis such as war and natural disaster. The theme of the best Christmas present in the world is war only brings sadness and humiliation all around the world. It only leads to destruction and devastation and loss of both human life and property. There are much better ways of resolving differences. Now, before you read, there are some dates or periods of time in the history of the world that are so significant that everyone knows and remembers them. The story you will read mentions one such date and event, a war between the British and the Germans in 1914. Can you guess which war it was? Yes, you are right. It was the First World War. It began in 1914 and lasted till 1918. During the conflict, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Bulgaria, and the Central Powers, they fought against Great Britain and the Allied powers. Now, do you know which events the date below referred to? A. 4 July 1776. It's American Declaration of Independence. B. 17 December 1903. Wilbur and Orville Wright made the first flight. They remained in the air for 12 seconds and covered 120 feet. C. 6th August 1945. Hiroshima Day. An atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima in Japan on this day. D. 30th January 1948, the Black Day in the history of India. Assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. E. 12 April 1961, Yuri Gagarin became the first human to orbit the Earth. F. 20th July 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first human to set foot on the moon. All these answers are given on page number 23. Now let's start the chapter. Part 1. I spotted it in a junk shop in Bridport. A roll-top desk. The man said it was early 19th century and oak. I had wanted one, but they were far too expensive. This one was in a bad condition, the roll top in several pieces, one leg clumsily mended, scotch marks all down one side. It was going for very little money. I thought I could restore it. It would be a risk, a challenge, but I had to have it. I paid the man and brought it back to my workroom at the back of the garage. I began work on it on Christmas Eve. The first paragraph tells us that the narrator went to a junk shop in Bridport. He had been wanting to buy a roll-top desk for a very long time. The desk was too expensive, so he was unable to purchase a new one. Finally, he found one desk in a junk shop in Bridport. The desk was very old, was of early 19th century and made of oak. The junk shopkeeper was selling it at a low price as the desk was in a bad condition. There were burn marks all over down one side. One leg was very awkwardly mended and the roll top was broken in several pieces. He thought he could repair it, though it would be a risk, a challenge. Then also he accepted all the challenges and paid the money to the shopkeeper, purchased the desk and brought to workroom at the back of the garage. He started his work on Christmas Eve. I removed the roll top completely and pulled out the drawers. The veneer had lifted almost everywhere. It looked like water damage to me. Both fire and water had clearly taken their toll on this desk. The last drawer was stuck fast. I tried all I could to ease it out gently. In the end, I used brute force. I struck it sharply with the side of my fist and the drawer flew open to reveal a shallow place underneath. A secret drawer. There was something in there. I reached in and took out a small black tin box. Sellotaped to the top of it was a piece of lined notepaper and written on it in shaky handwriting, Jim's last letter, received January 25, 1915. To be buried with me when the time comes. I knew as I did it that it was wrong of me to open the box. But curiosity got the better of my scruples. It usually does. Inside the box there was an envelope. The address read, Mrs. Jim Macpherson, 12 Copper Beaches, Bridport, Dorset. I took out the letter and unfolded it. It was written in pencil and dated at the top December 26, 1914. The narrator removed the roll top completely and he tried to pull out all the drawers. The veneer had lifted almost everywhere. Veneer means the decorative wood which is stuck on furniture for smooth finishing. The veneer had lifted almost everywhere and it looked as water damaged. It was the assumption of narrator that water has caused this damage. Both fire and water had totally damaged the desk. The last drawer, he tried to pull it out and found it was stuck fast. He tried with all his might to pull it out, and at last he was succeeded in his effort. And underneath what he found, a secret drawer. There was something in there. He tried to take it out and found a small black tin box. It was a small notepaper sellotaped on it, and it was written in a shaky handwriting, Jim's last letter, received January 25, 15. To be buried with me when the time comes. That means at the death of the person, the letter should be buried with her. The narrator knew very well that it was a wrong thing to read someone's personal letter. Then also, due to curiosity, he opened the box and found an envelope. The address written on it, Mrs. Jim Macpherson, 12 Copper Beeches, Bridport, Dorset. He took out the letter, he opened it, and he found at the top the date was mentioned 26 December 1914 in pencil.